on today with the amazing Elizabeth, the homework gal. Just days ago, we published a video showing you how to improve your fuel economy. Today, we are back in response to a few honest questions from reasonable-minded viewers who wanted to know more about how the X-Cap from MPG Xtreme works.
Here's a short video illustration which demonstrates how the X-Cap from MPG Xtreme benefits your vehicle, offering everything from more horsepower to better fuel economy and lower emissions.
If you look at the action of a standard automobile or internal combustion engine, the 4 cycles involved are the intake cycle, the compression cycle, the power cycle, and the exhaust cycle. What actually happens in a standard automobile without the X-Cap is that the combustion cycle does not complete the combustion. In fact, if you take the exhaust manifold off most ICE engines, you'd see fire exiting the exhaust ports during the exhaust cycle. This is due to the fact that most fuel available to the public burns dirty and is poorly refined. Now, once the X-Cap enters the fuel system, whether it be gasoline or diesel, the tablet dissolves in seconds and disperses in the fuel. The fuel becomes a carrier and takes the X-Cap, which is a fuel catalyst, into the combustion chamber. In the combustion chamber, the catalyst accelerates and optimizes the combustion, causing the fuel burn to complete in the combustion chamber itself. This subsequently yields more horsepower and reduces temperature in the exhaust, dropping the exhaust temperature. Now you no longer see fire in the exhaust ports. This increases the efficiency of the engine, both in better gas mileage and in horsepower, and reduces emissions. Well, there you go, folks. We can't provide a clearer or better illustration than that as to how the X-Cap works. It's not a fuel additive like the ones you find commonly at the big box stores. It's a fuel catalyst, which increases fuel efficiency and reduces emissions, having a more complete and efficient combustion process without changing any fuel specifications or properties.
Yeah.
It works with 87 octane or higher grade premium fuels, and it's 100% safe for any internal combustion engine, gas or diesel, new or used. In fact, if you have a new car, no better time than right now to use a fuel catalyst than from day one.
You can mock us and deny the truth of this all you want, but the only one you're going to be cheating is yourself.
Now, some of you might have assumed that it could have been just us, the homework guy, who tested this. Now that we are promoting the company, you might have wondered, is a 22% improvement in fuel economy even possible? Is it possible it could be a scam? Well, we mentioned in a previous video that we had seen reports of this tested by others, but we still did our own homework and investigated it ourselves, because if there's one thing you've all come to expect from us, it's being thorough and accurate in everything we do. You see, WSAZ Channel 3 News out of Huntington, West Virginia, without a thing to gain, also ran a test on it with their news vehicle to Charleston and back, a 100-mile round trip. Perhaps you'd like their test better than ours. Well, pay close attention. While MPG Xtreme says it generally takes 5 tanks of fuel to get the full fuel savings, WSAZ TV saw a 23% improvement with just 4 gallons of treated gas going through their vehicle. And remember, they had nothing to gain by saying it works.
Yeah, Tim, we drove to Charleston and back twice this afternoon to find out whether or not this so-called magic pill could pass our test in a News Channel 3 investigation. We start our project by filling up one of the WSAZ vehicles with a full tank of gasoline. So we decided to drive from Huntington to Charleston and back, and that's about 100 miles. It took 5.2 gallons of gasoline for the 2-hour trip to Charleston and back. Now we're going to make the same trip again, this time with a full tank of gas and this MPG fuel cap inside. It's supposed to increase our mileage. We'll see what happens. The MPG capsule is supposed to increase our mileage. Remember, without the pill, it took a little more than 5 gallons our first trip. Our last trip to Charleston, we filled the tank and found we drove 100 miles and used 4.2 gallons of gasoline. That's a 1-gallon savings after dropping the pill into the tank.
Even though they are starting to sell these pills locally, you can find them easily on the internet.
That's right.
All right. Hey, thanks, Dave.
Now, the Channel 3 vehicle went from 19.2 miles per gallon to 23.8 miles per gallon, to help those of you that are bad with math. That's a 23% improvement.
Yeah.
Now, might some of you want to assume that somebody like Channel 3 was just pulling a fast one over you? Well, now we know better, and so do you, because we proved it out ourselves in our last video, and I spent the money for the fuel out of my own pocket, taking a 240-mile round trip to create a more reliable outcome.
Of course, you're welcome to continue refusing to believe that this works, but the only one you're cheating, remember, is yourself. Tons of evidence shows that fuel catalyst technology works in 3 ways. First, by burning existing carbon deposits. Second, by preventing the formation of new deposits. And third, by causing the fuel to burn more completely, so that the energy can be captured and used in the combustion chamber. Your engine will be as clean as a whistle using the X-Cap.
Now that you've heard this very exciting presentation by the homework guy, Kevin, what are your next steps? Well, first, get back with the person who shared this video with you ASAP. And get your X-Caps ordered today and start saving money on that precious gas or diesel. That's right. Remember, 10, 12, 15% is expected. Some people do experience more. And number 3, learn about our generous Share with 2 referral income program. If you want to generate a side income without having a big load of stress on your life, this can be the way to do it. In the meantime, thank you for your time and spending a few moments with us.